1. Hey there, car enthusiasts! Today we're taking a closer look at a classic 1967 Chevrolet Corvair that's currently up for sale on Craigslist. This iconic American compact car is being offered at a price of $8,500. Now let's dive into the details provided by the seller. This 67 Corvair is a two-door convertible model sporting a beautiful blue paint job. The seller mentions that the car comes with new tires, which is always a plus. The hardtop is also reported to be in good condition, perfect for those sunny drives or when you need some extra protection from the elements. However, it's important to note that the seller has disclosed an issue with the brakes, stating that they need some work. This is something to keep in mind and factor into your decision-making process. It's always a good idea to have a trusted mechanic inspect the vehicle before making a purchase, especially when it comes to critical safety components like brakes. Under the hood, you'll find a 4-cylinder engine, which is paired with a manual transmission, giving you that classic driving experience. The seller also mentions that the title status is clean, which is a good sign. However, it's still recommended to verify this information independently. Overall, this Corvair convertible presents an opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. While it does have some areas that require attention, like the brakes, it could be an exciting project car for the right enthusiast. As with any used vehicle purchase, it's crucial to conduct a thorough inspection, gather more information about the car's history, and make an informed decision based on your budget and goals. If you're interested in this classic Corvair, be sure to reach out to the seller for more details and to schedule a viewing. Who knows? This vintage convertible might just be the perfect addition to your garage. 2. All right, folks, buckle up because we've got a real gem on our hands today. Feast your eyes on this 1984 Ford Mustang SVO, a true blast from the past that's ready to rock your world. And guess what? It can be yours for just $7,850. That's right, you heard me correctly. Now let's dive into the juicy details. This bad boy is packing a factory turbocharged 3L engine with an intercooler, mated to a slick 5-speed manual transmission. The seller claims it runs and drives like it just rolled off the showroom floor, and they wouldn't think twice about hopping in and cruising across the country. That's some serious confidence right there. Inside, you'll be treated to all the goodies you could want, like power windows, power door locks, a tilt wheel, cruise control, and both hot and cold air to keep you comfy no matter the weather. It's like a time capsule on wheels. But wait, there's more. The seller says this Mustang has been pampered like a prized possession. It's got fresh tires, brakes, tie rods, ball joints, control arms, bushings, and even a new battery. And get this, the engine was rebuilt back in 2001 using all OEM parts and factory components. They've got the receipts, records, and manuals to prove it too. Now, here's where things get really interesting. According to the seller, this Mustang SVO is a rare breed. It's got a 5-lug setup, which apparently makes it stand out from the crowd. And if that wasn't enough, it's dressed in a color called medium canyon red, with fewer than 2,000 of these beauties made in this specific hue for the '84 model year. The seller also mentions that this car has been garage kept for most of its life, and there's not a speck of rust to be found. They even claim that similar Mustang SVOs in this condition are being sold by classic car dealers for way more than what they're asking. So, if you're looking for a future classic that's sure to turn heads and appreciate in value, this might be your golden ticket. Of course, as with any used car, it's always smart to see it in person and have a trusted mechanic give it a once-over before making a decision. The seller seems pretty set on the price and is only looking for cash buyers, so keep that in mind. All in all, this Mustang SVO looks like a real winner for the right enthusiast. It's got rarity, style, and a whole lot of character. If you've been searching for a classic Mustang with a turbocharged twist, this could be the one that makes your dreams come true. 3. What's up, truck lovers? We've got a real treat for you. A 1976 Ford F-250 that's looking for a new home. This beauty is being offered on Craigslist for a cool $9,900, and from what the seller tells us, it's a truck that's ready to work and play. Under the hood, you'll find a 351 engine that's been rebuilt, so you know it's got plenty of power to get the job done. And when it's time to shift gears, you'll be doing it with a smooth, automatic 4-speed transmission that's also been refreshed. That's right, no more wrestling with a stubborn clutch in traffic. But that's not all. This F-250 has been given some serious TLC over the years. The seller mentions that it's got all new bushings, so you can expect a smooth and comfortable ride. And if you're planning on towing, you'll be happy to know that it's got a tow package ready to go. Now let's talk about the body. The seller says there's no rust to be found, which is always a big plus for a classic truck like this. The glass is all in good shape too, so you won't have to worry about any cracks or chips obstructing your view. One of the coolest features of this F250 is the flatbed with stake holes. Whether you're hauling lumber, machinery, or just need a big old space to throw your gear, this bed has got you covered, and with the new wheels and tires, you'll be rolling in style and ready for any terrain. But here's the best part. This truck is fully smog compliant and comes with a clean California title. That means no back fees or hassles when it's time to register it. It's a rare find for a classic truck like this, and it's sure to make the new owner's life a whole lot easier. Now, as with any used vehicle, it's always a good idea to see it in person and have a trusted mechanic give it a once-over before making a decision. But from what the seller has shared, this Ford seems like a solid choice for anyone in the market for a classic workhorse. The odometer shows just 15,000 miles, which is pretty low for a truck of this age. Of course, it's always a good idea to verify the actual mileage with the seller and any available documentation. All in all, if you're looking for a vintage truck with plenty of character and capability, this 76 F250 might just be the one for you. It's got a rebuilt engine, refreshed transmission, new bushings, and a clean title, all for under $10K. That's a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. As always, thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting on Craigslist. If you're interested in this classic Ford, be sure to reach out to the seller and schedule a time to check it out in person. Who knows? You might just drive home in your new favorite truck. 4. Hey there, classic car enthusiasts. Do I have a treat for you? We're taking a closer look at a real piece of automotive history. A 1961 Oldsmobile Cutlass F85 that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And get this, it can be yours for just $7,000. Now let's dive into what makes this car so special. First off, the seller tells us that this is a first-year Cutlass, which means it's a pretty rare find. It's a two-door coupe that's packing an original 215 CID aluminum V8 engine under the hood. That's right, an aluminum V8. This lightweight powerhouse is paired with a 4-barrel carburetor and a 3-speed automatic transmission, all of which have been completely rebuilt. Talk about a sweet setup. But the upgrades don't stop there. The seller mentions that the brakes and chrome have been renewed and the car is sitting on a fresh set of tires. They even went ahead and replaced the windshield, so you won't have to worry about any cracks or chips obstructing your view while you're cruising down the road. Now, it's important to note that this Cutlass is not in perfect condition. The seller is upfront about the fact that it still needs some final bodywork, a new paint job, and the new chrome needs to be attached. The interior also needs some attention. However, they do mention that the car is legally drivable as is, so you could potentially enjoy it while you work on getting it fully restored. One thing to keep in mind is that the odometer is broken, so the actual mileage is unknown. The listing shows 63,000 miles, but it's unclear if that's the true mileage or not. As with any classic car, it's always a good idea to thoroughly inspect it and ask the seller for any available documentation before making a decision. The seller also mentions that they have many extra parts that come with the car, which could be a real bonus for anyone looking to take on a restoration project. Overall, this Cutlass F85 seems like a solid choice for a classic car enthusiast who's not afraid to put in some work. It's got a rare and desirable engine, a rebuilt transmission, and a whole lot of potential. Plus, with an asking price of just $7,000, it could be a great way to get into the hobby without breaking the bank. As always, be sure to see the car in person and have a trusted mechanic check it out before making any final decisions. But if you're ready to take on a project and own a piece of Oldsmobile history, this Cutlass might just be the one for you. 5. All right, folks, get ready to step back in time with this 1978 Plymouth Horizon that's currently up for sale on Craigslist. This little hatchback is a real survivor, and it can be yours for just $7,500. The seller tells us that they bought this car back in 2005 after it had been barn-stored for a whopping 25 years. That's right, this Horizon was essentially a time capsule when they got their hands on it. It's a 4-door hatchback model that the seller says has been running reliably whenever they take it out for the occasional spin. Now let's talk about the specs. Under the hood, you'll find a 1.7L engine that was sourced from Volkswagen. This is a unique feature as it was only used in the first year of production before Chrysler started using their own 2.L engine in the Dodge Omni and later Horizons. The seller mentions that this car has power steering, power brakes, and even a working radio. However, they do note that the air conditioning condenser was removed at some point, and they're on the hunt for a replacement to get it back to its original state. The odometer shows just 63,000 miles, with the previous owner putting on about 53,000 miles before the car went into storage. The seller has added around 10,000 miles during their ownership. Cosmetically, the car is wearing its original two-tone golden brown candy apple paint, which is a real throwback to the 70s. It's also got some nice chrome accents, including window and wheel well trim, and even a factory chrome roof rack. The seller does mention that there are some body dents and surface rust, which is not too surprising for a car of this age. They also recently discovered an issue with the driver's side floorboards that will need to be addressed. Mechanically, the seller has replaced a few parts over the years, mainly steering joints and a CV joint. They mention that the car has been parked for the last 9 years but is now running great again. One cool thing about this Horizon is that it's still rolling on its original white wall tires, including the spare. The seller also mentions that they have many spare parts that come with the car, which could be really helpful for keeping it on the road for years to come. Overall, this Horizon seems like a really unique find for anyone who's into rare and classic cars. The seller even suggests that it could be used for movie rentals or weddings once the dents are taken care of, and with the potential to get collector status, it could be a smart investment too. As with any classic car, it's always a good idea to see it in person and have a trusted mechanic check it out before making a decision. But if you're ready to add a funky little piece of automotive history to your collection, this Horizon might just be the one for you. 6. We've got a real treat for you, a 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix that's looking for a new home. This beauty is being offered on Craigslist for $8,800. And from what the seller tells us, it's a car that stood the test of time. First off, let's talk about the specs. Under the hood, you'll find a 301 V8 engine that's ready to rumble. This Grand Prix is a rear-wheel drive machine, so you know it's got that classic muscle car feel. The seller mentions that the tires are in excellent condition, which is always a plus. Now, let's talk about the body. The seller says that all the glass is in good shape, which is impressive for a car that's 47 years old. They also mention that there's minimal rust, which is a real testament to how well this car has been cared for over the years. Inside, you'll find a clean title and an automatic transmission, making this Grand Prix a breeze to drive. The odometer shows 96,000 miles, which is not too shabby for a car of this age. The seller does mention that the car is located in Ames, Iowa, so keep that in mind if you're not local. However, they do offer delivery, which could be a real bonus for the right buyer. Overall, this Grand Prix seems like a solid choice for anyone in the market for a classic muscle car. It's got a powerful engine, a clean body, and a whole lot of character. Plus, with the seller offering delivery, it could be a great option even if you're not in the immediate area. As with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to see the car in person and have a trusted mechanic give it a once-over before making a decision. But from what the seller has shared, this Grand Prix seems to be in good condition overall. The asking price of $8,800 cash seems fair for a car of this caliber, especially considering its age and the fact that it's a sought-after model like the Grand Prix CJ. So if you're ready to add a classic Pontiac to your collection or just want a cool cruiser to take out on the weekends, this Grand Prix might be worth checking out. As always, thanks for tuning in and happy hunting on Craigslist. If you're interested in this classic Pontiac, be sure to reach out to the seller and schedule a time to see it in person. Who knows, you might just drive home in a piece of American muscle car history. 7. The 1969 Ford Thunderbird, a classic American coupe, is currently available for sale on Craigslist at a price of $6,000. This particular Thunderbird has an intriguing history, having been rescued by the seller from a neighborhood estate sale where it had been off the road since 1982. The seller's dedication to restoring this classic car is evident in the extensive list of new parts they have installed, bringing the Thunderbird back to a roadworthy condition. Under the hood, the Thunderbird is powered by an 8-cylinder engine, which has received a rebuilt carburetor and a new harmonic balancer. The cooling system has been upgraded with a new aluminum radiator and water pump, ensuring optimal engine temperature management. The transmission has also been attended to, with a new transmission cooler installed. However, the seller notes that there is a transmission leak, likely originating from the shaft seal, which will need to be addressed by the new owner. The braking system has undergone a significant overhaul with new calipers, pads, master cylinder, and brake booster, providing improved stopping power. The suspension has been refreshed with new shocks, enhancing the ride quality. The fuel system has also been updated, featuring a new fuel tank, fuel pump, soft fuel lines, and fuel filter, ensuring a reliable supply of gasoline to the engine. Electrical components such as the battery, starter relay, and plug wires have been replaced, contributing to the car's reliability. The power steering system has received attention, with a new pressure hose installed. Fresh oil and filter, along with new valve cover gaskets, have been fitted to keep the engine running smoothly. The seller has also invested in new tires and sway bar end links, improving the Thunderbird's handling and road grip. The air conditioning system is in place, but it will need a recharge to function properly. The seller has a new heater core on hand, ready to be installed to address any heating issues. Cosmetically, the Thunderbird has some needs. The rear of the car has mild rust, requiring a new tail panel. There are a few minor trim pieces and paint touch-ups needed to restore the car's appearance fully. The passenger window has also suddenly stopped rolling up, which will need to be investigated and repaired. Despite these minor issues, the seller has demonstrated the car's roadworthiness by driving it to work a few times. The decision to sell the Thunderbird comes from the seller having too many other projects to focus on. For classic car enthusiasts, or those looking for a restoration project with a significant head start, this Ford presents an attractive opportunity. The seller's transparency about the car's condition and the work they have put into it instills confidence in the vehicle's overall state. However, potential buyers should carefully consider the additional work needed and factor in the associated costs when making their decision. In summary, this Thunderbird, priced at $6,000, is a classic American coupe that has benefited from extensive restoration efforts by the seller. While it still has some needs, the car's overall condition and the seller's honesty about its state make it an appealing option for those in the market for a vintage Thunderbird. 8. The 1985 Chevrolet Corvette hatchback coupe, currently for sale on Craigslist, is an excellent example of this classic American sports car. The seller, who is parting with the vehicle due to difficulty getting in and out of the car because of their age, has priced the Corvette at $9,500. This particular Corvette is equipped with a powerful 8-cylinder engine and a 4-speed automatic overdrive transmission, providing a balance of performance and convenience. The odometer reads 69,700 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle of this age, suggesting that it has been well maintained throughout its life. The exterior of the car is finished in a sleek silver paint color and features a removable T-top, allowing for an open-air driving experience when desired. The Corvette sits on a set of new TSW mag wheels, complemented by 4 new tires, ensuring excellent grip and a stylish appearance. Under the car, a new Billy Boat dual performance exhaust system has been installed, enhancing the Corvette's signature growl and potentially improving its performance. The seller mentions that the previous owner had carried out several upgrades to the vehicle, further indicating that it has been well cared for and improved over time. According to the seller, the Corvette runs and drives well, making it a fun vehicle to own and operate. The car's overall condition is described as excellent, suggesting that it has been meticulously maintained and has no significant mechanical or cosmetic issues. For collectors or enthusiasts seeking a classic Corvette in excellent condition, this hatchback coupe presents a compelling opportunity. The recent upgrades, including the new wheels, tires, and exhaust system, add to the car's appeal and value. The seller's reason for parting with the vehicle, difficulty entering and exiting due to their age, underscores the fact that the Corvette is a low-slung sports car that may not be suitable for everyone. Potential buyers should still consider arranging a thorough inspection of the vehicle to verify its condition and ensure that it meets their expectations. However, based on the seller's description and the provided information, this Chevrolet appears to be a well-maintained, upgraded example of a classic American sports car, offered at a reasonable price point. 9. The 1970 Ford Galaxy 500 currently for sale on Craigslist is a classic American coupe with a rich history. The seller has priced this vintage vehicle at $8,500, which is a fair asking price considering its overall condition and features. Under the hood, the Galaxy 500 is powered by a 351 Windsor engine, known for its reliability and performance. The engine is paired with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive and maintain. With 147,000 miles on the odometer, this car has been around the block but still has plenty of life left in it. The exterior of the car is finished in a classic white paint color, which is a timeless choice for a vehicle of this era. The seller mentions that there is some rust present in the trunk area, which is not uncommon for a car of this age. However, they also emphasize that this is a solid Southern car, suggesting that it has been well maintained and has not been exposed to harsh winter conditions that can accelerate rust formation. Inside the cabin, the Galaxy 500 is equipped with air conditioning, ensuring comfortable rides even on hot summer days. The car also features power steering, making it easier to maneuver, especially at low speeds. It is important to note that the brakes are manual, which may require some adjustment for drivers accustomed to modern power brakes. The interior's overall condition is not explicitly mentioned, but given the car's age and the seller's description of it being a solid vehicle, it is likely in good shape. Potential buyers should be aware that the seller is firm on the asking price of $8,500 and is not interested in trades. They have provided a contact number for interested parties to call or text for further information or to arrange a viewing. The seller kindly requests that no calls be made after 9 p.m., demonstrating their willingness to communicate with potential buyers within reasonable hours. While the Ford may not be in perfect condition, it presents an excellent opportunity for classic car enthusiasts or collectors to own a piece of American automotive history. The rust in the trunk area should be inspected closely to determine the extent of the damage and potential repair costs. However, the car's overall solid condition and Southern origins suggest that it has been well cared for throughout its life. In summary, this Galaxy 500 coupe, powered by a 351 Windsor engine and equipped with an automatic transmission, air conditioning, and power steering, is a classic American car with a lot of character. The seller's asking price of $8,500 is reasonable given the vehicle's condition and features. Potential buyers should carefully consider the rust issue and their comfort level with manual brakes before making a decision. Nonetheless, this vintage Galaxy 500 is an attractive option for those in the market for a classic American coupe with a strong engine and solid overall condition. 10. The 1979 Chevrolet Impala, currently for sale on Craigslist, is an incredibly well-preserved classic American sedan with an unbelievably low mileage of just 68,000 miles. The seller has priced this vintage gem at $5,000, which is an attractive price point considering the car's overall condition and low mileage. Under the hood, the Impala is powered by a robust V8 engine, which is known for its strong performance and reliability. The engine is paired with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive and maintain. The seller emphasizes that the car runs like new, suggesting that it has been meticulously maintained throughout its life, and that the engine and transmission are in excellent working order. The seller mentions that this Impala has just come out of an estate, which often indicates that the car has been well cared for by its previous owner. They also describe the car as super solid, implying that it has minimal rust or body damage, which is remarkable for a vehicle that is over 40 years old. While the listing does not provide detailed information about the car's exterior and interior condition, the low mileage and the seller's enthusiasm suggest that the Impala is in excellent shape overall. The use of multiple exclamation marks in the description underscores the seller's excitement about the car and their confidence in its quality. Potential buyers will be pleased to know that they can drive the Impala home the same day they purchase it, as the seller encourages them to come out and drive it home today. This suggests that the car is in good running condition and ready for immediate use. Additionally, the seller offers the convenience of accepting credit card payments, making the purchasing process more flexible for buyers. For classic car enthusiasts or collectors looking for a low-mileage, well-maintained Chevrolet, this listing presents an excellent opportunity. The V8 engine, automatic transmission, and the car's overall solid condition make it an attractive choice for those in the market for a vintage American sedan. However, potential buyers should still consider arranging a thorough inspection of the vehicle to verify its condition and ensure that it meets their expectations. Given the car's age, it is essential to check for any hidden issues or potential maintenance needs that may not be apparent in the listing. In summary, this Impala, with its remarkably low mileage of 68,000 miles, V8 engine, and automatic transmission, is a classic American sedan that appears to be in excellent condition. The seller's enthusiasm and the car's solid state make it an attractive option for vintage car enthusiasts. At a price of $5,000, this Impala represents a unique opportunity to own a well-preserved piece of automotive history. 11. The 1983 Chrysler Imperial, currently for sale on Craigslist, is a rare and unique find for classic car enthusiasts. The seller has priced this luxury coupe at $9,500, which is a fair asking price considering the car's low mileage, overall condition, and recent upgrades. This Imperial is one of the last big Mopar luxury cars before the introduction of the K-car era. It was a high-tech vehicle for its time, featuring a digital dash and unique styling that made it a popular choice for movies such as Sharky's Machine, Stick, Gumball Rally, and Fast Furious. The car's distinctive appearance is sure to turn heads and garner more attention than its Cadillac counterparts from the same era. Under the hood, the Imperial is powered by a reliable 318/5 2L engine, which the seller describes as bulletproof compared to the goofball engines found in Cadillacs of the 80s. The car has been well maintained, with recent upgrades including an engine reseal, new ignition system, starter, and a power antenna with an upgraded metal cable. The interior of the Imperial is in stunning condition, featuring rare Mark Cross leather seats and Cartier Crystal Pentastar badges. The seller emphasizes that this is not a restored car, but rather a clean and updated example. The original radio has been restored at a cost of $350, adding to the car's authenticity and value. With only 47,000 miles on the odometer, this Imperial is a low-mileage gem. The seller notes that the carburetor was converted at just 1,970 miles, as indicated by a tag on the door. The car has been well preserved, having avoided the harsh conditions of southern sun-baked regions or the rust-prone environments of the Rust Belt. The exterior of the car is finished in a striking midnight blue, night watchman blue color, which the seller points out is a rare and desirable shade compared to the more common granny colors like green or beige. The paint is in good condition, and there is no body rust present. Mechanically, the Imperial runs like new, with the seller having driven it 300 miles straight home without issue. The transmission shifts firmly, and the engine, having been resealed, shows no leaks. The oil pan has been painted, indicating that work has been done to maintain the car's mechanical integrity. Potential buyers should note that the gas gauge always shows full, which may require attention. The seller also mentions that they are looking to buy a first-gen Monte Carlo or a Impala, suggesting that they may be open to trades for the right vehicle. Interested parties should include their phone number for a callback, as the seller is not responding to emails or text messages. They also emphasize that no one has seen the car yet and that they will only meet in fair weather conditions. In summary, this Imperial is a rare and well-maintained luxury coupe with low mileage and a desirable color combination. Its unique styling, reliable engine, and recent upgrades make it an attractive option for classic car collectors or enthusiasts seeking a standout vehicle from the early 80s. The seller's asking price of $9,500 is reasonable given the car's condition and rarity, and the included paperwork and sealed Chrysler music cassettes add to its overall value and authenticity. 12. The 1975 Lincoln Continental, currently for sale on Craigslist, is a classic luxury coupe that has undergone the beginning stages of a restoration process. The seller has priced the vehicle at $3,500, which seems to be a fair asking price considering the car's condition and the work that has already been done. This Continental is powered by a 460 cubic inch big block Ford BBF engine, which is paired with an automatic transmission. The seller has made some upgrades to the car's fuel system, including the installation of a new Edelbrock carburetor, and a conversion to an electric fuel pump. These modifications should help improve the car's performance and reliability. However, the seller notes that the power steering and brakes are in need of attention, which is an important consideration for potential buyers. These systems are critical for the safe operation of the vehicle and will likely require some investment to bring them up to proper working order. The interior of the Continental is in the process of being restored, with the carpet and headliner having been removed. The dash parts are all present but have been taken out for cleaning, as seen in the provided pictures. The seller also mentions that they have a retro sound Bluetooth radio to be included with the sale, although it has not yet been installed. The exterior of the car is finished in a yellow paint color, which appears to be in fair condition based on the seller's description. The classic styling of the Lincoln is sure to turn heads and attract attention from classic car enthusiasts. It is important to note that the seller states the car will need to be towed as it currently runs, but may not be safe to drive due to the issues with the power steering and brakes. This is a crucial factor for potential buyers to consider, as it will add to the overall cost and logistics of acquiring the vehicle. The seller's reason for parting with the Continental is a lack of time and money to continue the restoration process. They appear to be honest about the car's condition and the work that still needs to be done, which is a positive sign for potential buyers. Interested parties are encouraged to text the seller with any questions they may have. The seller concludes the listing by thanking potential buyers for their time and wishing them a blessed day, which suggests a friendly and approachable demeanor. In summary, this Continental represents an opportunity for classic car enthusiasts or those looking for a restoration project. The car has a strong foundation with its 460 BBF engine and automatic transmission, and the seller has already made some upgrades to the fuel system. However, the power steering and brakes will require attention, and the interior is in the process of being restored. At a price of $3,500, this Continental is an attractive option for those willing to invest time and money into bringing the car back to its former glory. Potential buyers should carefully consider the costs associated with towing the vehicle and completing the necessary repairs and restoration work before making a decision. 13. The 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, currently for sale on Craigslist, is a highly modified classic muscle car that has been built for performance. The seller has priced this impressive vehicle at $8,600, which seems to be a reasonable asking price considering the extensive upgrades and the car's overall condition. Although the Monte Carlo does not currently have an engine installed, the seller includes a powerful 6.0 LS engine with the sale. They also mention that they have all the necessary components to complete the engine installation, but due to time constraints, they have not been able to finish the project. The car's drivetrain has been significantly upgraded, featuring a built 4K rear end with 35 spline axles, 4.56 gears, and a full positraction differential in a new housing. These modifications suggest that the Monte Carlo has been designed for serious performance and traction. Backing up the robust rear end is a Stage 3 350 Turbo Hydromatic TH transmission, which has been equipped with a shift kit and an Ultra bell housing. The transmission is controlled by a B and M floor shifter, which has a nitrous button attached, hinting at the car's potential for even more power. The Monte Carlo still has a nitrous setup installed from the seller's previous configuration, further emphasizing the car's performance-oriented nature. The trunk houses a 16-gallon fuel cell and the battery, which are common modifications in high-performance vehicles. Inside, the car features a custom race dashboard, adding to its motorsport-inspired aesthetic. The seller assures potential buyers that the Monte Carlo has a very solid body with no rust, which is a significant selling point for a classic car of this era. The seller seems eager to find a serious buyer for the Monte Carlo, urging those who are not genuinely interested not to waste their time. They're open to entertaining offers, as indicated by the OBO, or best offer, in the listing. Potential buyers are encouraged to contact the seller via text or phone if they have any questions or want to discuss the car further. The seller's assertive tone suggests that they are passionate about the vehicle and want to ensure it goes to someone who appreciates the work that has gone into it. In summary, this Monte Carlo is an impressive high-performance machine that has undergone extensive modifications. With a 6.0 LS engine ready to be installed, a built rear end, a Stage 3 transmission, and a nitrous setup, This car has the potential to be a serious contender on the street or the track. The solid, rust-free body and custom interior add to the car's appeal. At $8,600 or best offer, this Monte Carlo represents an exciting opportunity for muscle car enthusiasts or those looking for a unique project car. Interested parties should reach out to the seller to gather more information and potentially negotiate a deal. 14. The 1984 Cadillac Eldorado, currently for sale on Craigslist, is a one-owner vehicle with an intriguing history. The seller has priced this classic luxury car at $5,000, which seems to be a fair asking price considering the car's condition and the recent work performed on it. With 155,000 original miles on the odometer, this Eldorado has been off the road for the past 25 years, having been on a non-operational status. This extended period of inactivity suggests that the car may have been stored and preserved, potentially minimizing the effects of daily wear and tear. The seller has recently invested time and effort into bringing the Eldorado back to a running condition. They have performed an oil and filter change, replaced the fuel pump, sending unit and fuel filter, and installed 3 new fuel lines at the fuel tank. Additionally, a new battery has been fitted, and 2 new vacuum hoses have been replaced. These updates indicate that the seller has taken steps to address some of the car's essential systems. According to the seller, the Eldorado does run and sounds pretty good, which is a positive sign for a vehicle that has been idle for such a long time. However, they also mention that the car still requires some additional work before it can be considered roadworthy. The Eldorado needs a new thermostat, tires, and 2 injectors, which are relatively minor issues that can be easily addressed. The seller also notes that the car has some cosmetic needs, which could range from minor blemishes to more significant body or interior work. Potential buyers should inquire further about the extent of the cosmetic issues to better understand the car's overall condition. It is important to note that the seller states the Eldorado will need to be towed in its current state. This suggests that while the car runs, it may not be safe or legal to drive on public roads until the necessary repairs and upgrades have been completed. Under the hood, the Eldorado is powered by a V8 engine, which is a common power plant for Cadillacs of this era. The car features front-wheel drive, which was a relatively advanced feature for its time, providing improved traction and handling compared to rear-wheel drive vehicles. The exterior of the car is finished in a classic black paint color, which is a timeless and elegant choice for a luxury vehicle like the Eldorado. The seller does not provide detailed information about the condition of the paint or body, so potential buyers should closely inspect the car in person to assess its cosmetic state. In summary, this one-owner Eldorado presents an opportunity for classic car enthusiasts, or those looking for a unique project car. With 155,000 original miles and a 25-year period of inactivity, the car has an intriguing history. The seller has recently performed some essential updates to get the car running, but it still requires additional work, including a new thermostat, tires, and injectors, as well as some cosmetic attention. At $5,000, this Eldorado is an attractive option for those willing to invest time and money into bringing the car back to its former glory. Potential buyers should arrange for a thorough inspection and be prepared to tow the vehicle to their desired location. 15. The 1977 Ford F-150, currently for sale on Craigslist, is a classic pickup truck with the desirable Explorer package. The seller, Will, has priced this vintage Ford at $9,500, which may be a fair asking price considering the truck's age, condition, and the popularity of classic F-Series pickups among collectors and enthusiasts. With 240,000 kilometers, approximately 149,000 miles, on the odometer, this F-150 has likely seen its fair share of use over the years. However, the seller describes the truck's condition as good, suggesting that it has been well maintained or possibly restored to some extent. Potential buyers should inquire about the truck's maintenance history and any repairs or upgrades that have been performed to get a better understanding of its overall condition. The Explorer package was a popular trim level for the F-150 in the late 1970s, offering a combination of style and functionality. This package often included features such as a color-keyed grille, a unique interior trim, and other cosmetic enhancements. The seller doesn't provide specific details about the Explorer package on this particular truck, So interested parties should ask for more information to determine which features are present. The F-150 was available with a range of engine options, but the seller does not specify which engine powers this particular truck. Common choices for the 77 model year included the 300 cubic inch inline 6, the 351 cubic inch V8, and the 400 cubic inch V8. Knowing the engine type and condition would be valuable information for potential buyers, as it can impact the truck's performance, fuel efficiency, and overall desirability. The truck is equipped with an automatic transmission, which was a popular choice for F-150s in the late 1970s. The seller does not mention the transmission's condition, or whether it has been rebuilt or serviced, so this is another area that potential buyers should inquire about. While the seller provides a brief description of the truck, there are many details that are not included in the listing. Potential buyers should ask about the condition of the truck's exterior, including the paint, body panels, and any signs of rust or damage. The interior condition is also important, as wear and tear can be expected in a vehicle of this age. Additionally, interested parties should inquire about the truck's tires, brakes, suspension, and other mechanical components to ensure that they are in good working order. The seller, Will, has provided a contact number for potential buyers to reach out with any questions or to arrange a viewing of the truck. Interested individuals should take advantage of this opportunity to gather more information and see the F-150 in person before making a decision. In summary, this F-150 with the Explorer package presents an opportunity for classic truck enthusiasts or those in search of a vintage workhorse. With 240,000 kilometers on the odometer and a good condition rating from the seller, this truck may have been well cared for over the years. However, potential buyers should ask for more details about the engine, transmission, and overall condition of the vehicle to make an informed decision. At $9,500, this classic F-150 may be a fair deal for the right buyer, but a thorough inspection and test drive are recommended to ensure that it meets the buyer's expectations and needs. 16. Let's taking a closer look at a 1966 Chevrolet Impala that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic beauty is being offered for $9,000, and while it's not in perfect condition, it definitely has a lot of potential for the right buyer. First off, let's talk about the good stuff. The Impala has its original 81,000 miles on a rebuilt 283 engine and transmission, which is pretty impressive for a car that's over 50 years old. It's also got a new Flowmaster dual exhaust system and four-wheel disc brakes, so someone has already put some work into upgrading the performance. The seller mentions that the body is straight with all its original emblems, which is a big plus for anyone looking to restore this classic to its former glory. However, it's important to note that this Impala is definitely a project car. The seller admits that it's currently not drivable because the brakes need to be bled, but they plan to fix this once the weather gets warmer. The interior is described as decent, with just a minor tear in the driver's seat, which is pretty common wear and tear for a car of this age. There are also a few other issues that will need to be addressed, like some electrical work for the brake lights and turn signals, and the seller notes that it needs some general TLC. But here's where the story gets interesting. The seller is actually the second owner of this Impala, and they bought it from the original owner who inherited it from his aunt. Apparently, the aunt bought the car brand new off the showroom floor, and it's been in that family's possession for over 30 years. That kind of history is really cool to see in a classic car like this. The seller also mentions that the title is clean, and the car has never been in any accidents, which is always good to hear. And while the asking price of $9,000 might seem a bit steep for a project car, it's actually not too bad for a classic Impala with this kind of history and potential. Of course, as with any used car purchase, especially a project car like this, I always recommend thoroughly checking it out in person and getting a professional inspection before making an offer. You'll want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into before dropping that kind of cash. But overall, if you're in the market for a '66 Impala to restore and you don't mind putting in some work, this one might be worth checking out. It's got a solid foundation, some cool upgrades, and a really interesting history. Plus, who doesn't love the idea of bringing a classic American muscle car back to life? 17, we're checking out a 1980 Chevrolet Camaro that's currently for sale on Craigslist for $6,500. This classic American muscle car has undergone some serious upgrades and modifications, making it a real head-turner on the road. According to the seller, the Camaro has a freshly built 327 engine that's been blueprinted and balanced, with roller rocker arms and headers feeding into a dual exhaust system. That's a lot of power under the hood, and it should make this Camaro a blast to drive. The transmission has also been upgraded to a turbo unit with a B&M slap shifter, which should make for some quick and easy gear changes. Moving on to the interior, the seller has installed new carpet and bucket seats, along with a massive stereo system that's sure to turn some heads. The paint is also new, and the seller has replaced all the weather stripping to keep the elements out. Underneath, the Camaro has been fitted with new joints in the front end, which should improve the handling and make it feel more responsive on the road. The seller has also installed a set of 19-inch rims, which give the car a more modern and aggressive look. Now it's worth noting that this Camaro has 160,000 miles on the odometer, which is pretty high for a classic car. However, with all the upgrades and modifications that have been made, it's clear that the seller has put a lot of time and effort into keeping this car in good condition. The seller also mentions that they have receipts for all the work that's been done, which is always a good sign. Overall, if you're in the market for a classic Camaro with some serious upgrades, this one might be worth checking out. The asking price of $6,500 seems reasonable for a car with this much work done to it, but as always, I recommend getting a professional inspection before making any final decisions. 18. Now we're taking a look at a 1975 Ford Elite that's currently for sale on Craigslist for $8,900. This classic American car has been in the same family since it was new, and it's clear that they've taken good care of it over the years. According to the seller, this Elite was originally shipped in from Michigan and has never seen harsh winter conditions, which is great news for anyone worried about rust or other weather-related damage. The car is powered by a 351 cubic inch V8 engine, which should provide plenty of power for cruising around town or hitting the highway. The seller notes that the car is in great condition overall, with a clean title and only 67,000 miles on the odometer. That's pretty low mileage for a car that's almost 50 years old, and it suggests that this Elite has been well maintained throughout its life. Inside, the Elite comes equipped with power steering, power disc brakes, and an AM radio for entertainment. It also has air conditioning, which is a nice bonus for those hot summer days. The seller mentions that the brakes and rear shocks have been recently serviced, which is always good to hear. Moving on to the exterior, the Elite is finished in a bright yellow paint job that really makes it stand out from the crowd. The seller doesn't mention anything about the condition of the paint or body, but based on the photos, it looks to be in good shape overall. The tires also appear to be in good condition, and the seller notes that the exhaust system is nice as well. Of course, as with any classic car, there may be some minor issues or areas that need attention, but overall, this Elite seems to be a solid example of a well-maintained vintage vehicle. The asking price of $8,900 may seem a bit high for some buyers, but considering the car's condition, low mileage, and one family ownership history, it could be a fair price for the right buyer. 19. We've got a really cool find on Craigslist, a 1968 Ford Mustang that's up for grabs for $9,500 or best offer. This classic pony car was recently pulled out of a barn in Atlanta and has been given some mechanical love to make it roadworthy again. Now, let's start with the good news. According to the seller, this Mustang is totally rust-free, which is a huge plus for any classic car. It also still has its original 289 V8 engine, which is said to run like a top. The automatic transmission is also reported to shift well, and the brake system has been completely rebuilt. So mechanically, it seems like this Mustang is in pretty good shape. However, it's important to note that the paint and interior are described as old. The seller doesn't go into much detail about what that means, but it's safe to assume that they're probably not in the best condition. The photos show a car that looks like it's been sitting for a while with some fading and wear on the paint and interior. But here's the thing, this Mustang is being sold as a driver, not a show car. The seller even says that you can drive it home after buying it. For someone who's looking for a classic Mustang to cruise around in and enjoy, this could be a great option. It's not perfect, but it's got a solid foundation and a lot of potential. The seller also mentions that they were planning on taking the car all the way, but have too many other projects going on. That suggests that they may have had plans to fully restore this Mustang at some point, but are now looking to pass it on to someone else who can give it the attention it deserves. As for the price, $9,500 or best offer seems pretty reasonable for a rust-free '68 Mustang with a running engine and rebuilt brakes. Of course, as with any classic car purchase, I always recommend getting a thorough inspection done by a professional before making any final decisions. And it's worth noting that this car is being sold with a bill of sale only, not a traditional title, so that's something to keep in mind as well. The seller also mentions that they're open to trades of higher value, so if you've got something cool to offer up, it might be worth reaching out to them. Overall, if you're in the market for a classic Mustang project car that you can drive and enjoy right away, this one might be worth checking out. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot of potential and a price tag that seems pretty fair for what you're getting. 20. This classic 1961 Ford Fairlane is a true gem for any vintage car enthusiast. According to the seller's description, the vehicle is in excellent shape, both in terms of its body and interior. The stunning green paint job is sure to catch the eye of anyone who appreciates the beauty of classic American automobiles. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine that's paired with a Mustang GT 5.0 AOD transmission, ensuring smooth and reliable performance. The car also features a 9-inch rear end, which is known for its durability and strength. The odometer shows 90,000 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle of this age and speaks to the care and maintenance it has received over the years. The Fairlane is equipped with a clean title and an automatic transmission, making it a great choice for cruising around town or taking on longer road trips. The seller mentions that the vehicle runs great, giving potential buyers peace of mind regarding its mechanical condition. One of the most appealing aspects of this Fairlane is its overall condition. The seller states that the car is in excellent shape, and there are no indications of any major issues or damage. This is a testament to the care and attention the vehicle has received throughout its life, and it suggests that the new owner won't have to worry about significant repairs or restoration work in the near future. The asking price of $9,500 seems reasonable for a classic car in this condition, especially considering the upgrades and modifications that have been made to enhance its performance and drivability. The seller is open to considering best offers or even a trade, which could provide some flexibility for potential buyers. In summary, this Ford presents a fantastic opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. With its excellent condition, powerful engine, and clean title, this car is sure to provide its new owner with years of enjoyment and pride of ownership. If you're in the market for a classic car that's ready to hit the road, this Fairlane is definitely worth considering.